What's up? My name is Isaac Sunne-Murray, and I'm 19 years old from La Crosse, Wisconsin. Currently, I'm actually a full-time student at the University of Whitewater in Wisconsin, which, I'm sure none of you know where that is. It's basically in the middle of nowhere, but basically, it's just one of those Wisconsin schools with a lot of drinking and a lot of cheese. So that's all you need to know about it. Along with being a full-time student, though, I am also actually a radio personality. I have my own podcast. I've worked at two radio stations. I actually was going to go into that as my major, and I took a class in radio broadcasting in college, which I was super excited for. And this lady came in from the local station that's connected to our college, and she was talking to us the first class. And after the first class, I kind of went up to her and I'm like, look, lady, kind of want your job, kind of want to manage the station. You know what I mean? So without asking, I kind of was just like, train me how to do your job so I can take your job. And she trained me how to do her job. And I took the job. So now I am managing a radio station, which is super fun. But there's a lot of different dynamic personalities there. And they're all in radio. So they're all huge, big people, talking about different things. And I have to manage them. And it's just you have to adapt to these people, which I know would come in handy in Survivor because you have to adapt to a bunch of different big personalities. I mean, have you seen Tony, Joe? There's so many. So I mean, I see that in my normal everyday life, but at the other end of the totem pole, I actually am an intern slash assistant at a radio station in La Crosse, which is a little bit bigger. It's a bigger station. So I kind of work for the big dogs there and I do whatever they need me to do, whether it be, one day I could be plugging random shitty numbers into a computer and, sitting there for 5 hours straight. And another day, the next day, I could be driving the Jeep that we're giving away across a highway and praying that I don't crash it, which has happened many times. I haven't crashed it yet, but I don't know, it's kind of scary. So, I mean, I have to adapt to all these situations. And I feel like in Survivor, it's the same with the challenges, you get one challenge, it's a puzzle, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so good at this. But the next day it's a physical comp, and you're like, what am I doing? I can't hold these up or whatever. So it's insane, how much I have to adapt in my life and how much that actually connects with the challenges in Survivor. I've really had to do it my whole life, though, because I actually grew up in a split household. My parents never got married. I was an oopsie baby, miracle baby right here. Thank God for no use of condoms. Otherwise I would not be here. But I was, thrown into a split household, never known parents together, so I had to manage all those different relationships. So I've been managing relationships my whole life, between my parents, and I think that'll totally come in handy with the social game. My social skills, I pride myself on them. I use them to my advantage, and I, get what I want when I want it. I know how to talk to people, and that's why I'm going into a career that is literally just me talking into a microphone. So whenever anyone asks me why I'm going to college, what I'm going to college for, I'm like, I'm going to college to talk shit on the radio. What do you want me to say? But other than that, I think I will have a strong social game. I'll make friends easily. I'll have strong connections, and even though I may not be the most physical, I I think that I can stay a little bit fit, and I think my connections will pull me to the end of the game, honestly, and then I'll sit in front of jury and be like, look, bitches, I deserve to win because I'm all your friends, and then they'll vote for me. My weaknesses, though, I don't like to admit them because I'm just a very confident person, but I do think that some things will have to be worked on while going into Survivor. Number one would be my mouth. I have mentioned I'm going into a career of talking, so obviously I talk a lot of smack sometimes. If someone does something I don't like, it's hard for me to hide my facial expressions, hard for me to hide my words. Especially if someone does something to one of my friends, I'm like, oh my god, I have to try so hard not to go off on that person. And I've gone off on people multiple times for my friends. I love my friends. So if I had an alliance and someone was dissing one of my partners, I'd be like, listen, you gotta square up, whatever. And I don't know how well that would go for me. So I just gotta rein it in, keep it in. The other thing that I may have to work on just a teensy bit is my flirtiness because I'm a very flirty person. I hate it kind of about myself because I feel like in every situation I've been in, I found someone where I'm like, oh, come my way, I've had a fling in every work environment I've been in. Including the one that I'm in right now. So, I mean, it's hard, you gotta, I don't want to get into a showmance, but if I did, I mean, I would use it to levitate me to the end of the game and I'd boot them. And then afterwards, I'd ask for forgiveness. But I'm so excited to get out there. I've been a fan of Survivor my whole life. My family and I do drafts. I've been watching since I was 11, and I'm ready to get out there. So give me the chance and let me prove that a 19-year-old can do just as much as a 40-year-old ripped man. Like, I can beat them all, and I'm going to show that I can do it.